Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Hello again, St. Lucia, and welcome to the program, Agriculture on the Move. I am Philip Sidney, your host. Today, I am so excited. Why? You will know why in a little while. However, I just want to say to you that this year we are celebrating 40 years of World Food Day. That, of course, was the observance by FAO, of course, coming from United Nations. And every year there's a theme. This year's theme is Grow, Nourish, Sustain. Together, our actions are our future. We will discuss it from a St. Lucian local standpoint. And of course, our tagline, as we have been pushing in the ministry for many moons ago, eat fresh, St. Lucia's best. With me are three persons in studio. I would like allow them to introduce themselves. And to my right,
Orlando Sacho from Orlando's Restaurant Soufriere, and also representing Independent Restaurants SLHDA.
Very good.
Miriam Henville, the coordinator for the Student Welfare Unit at the Department of Education, responsible for school feeding program at the schools.
Great.
Dunstan DeMille, Perishables Manager, Massey Stores.
Great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. I'm excited about today's program because going back in many moons, and of course Orlando can attest to this, we have been trying our best to tell St. Lucians, the St. Lucian consumer, to eat what we grow, eat fresh St. Lucia's best. They have been playing around, not eating, but you know, COVID opened many doors and windows, and I think we had no choice, or they had no choice, because I have been supporting local from the time I know myself. Okay, for example, I don't buy imported chicken. Period. Okay, I would support my local. So today I want us to focus on why we should eat local, why we should prepare local cuisine, and why we should tell the farmers, hey, there's an opportunity for you to produce for us to eat. Orlando, I want to start with you, because many months ago, you know, you were one of the chefs in, the thing is, you're international because you're St. Lucian, what? You're Jamaican, you're Belgian?
You're Jamaican? Yeah, I just say a bouillon.
A bouillon, yeah, bouillon.
But no, my mother is Jamaican, my father is Barbadian, and I was born in the UK, and I've been in St. Lucia over 20 years now.
Great. Yeah. So tell me, as a chef, being in St. Lucia, I know one of your passion is using local products. Tell me why.
Well, you know, I've got to say, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share with you on this 40-year anniversary. I mean, it's really to see the world as now 40 years of trying to promote our foods is really great. I really believe that we are the best ingredients in the world in the Caribbean. And even from the days of living in the UK, I'm back now, I'm in St. Lucia now, living in St. Lucia, always question why we didn't promote more local ingredients. Always frustrated me, I must say, going out to restaurants and getting salmon and getting Irish tato. So when I was a chef at Ladera, my vision was to make it an opportunity to showcase the best of the Caribbean and using it in a more creative way. We as Caribbean, we love our ingredients, but the idea of taking those ingredients and presenting it to a more creative way, you know, not just boiling it, not just stewing it. So the passion is to say that this is St. Lucia, this is the Caribbean. You come to the Caribbean to get the best of the Caribbean. And the best of the Caribbean, while we're an island representing the international audience, we all should be the best, all should be up front for us. COVID has taught us now to be more creative, to get step out of the box, you know, and I'm hoping that we don't go back in the box after
I'm
the
hoping
program.
that because at the end of the day, it has opened so many doors and windows. I know, I'll go to Miriam now because we're looking at the schools. I think that's one of the best places to start
Absolutely.
to educate our young minds. And you know, I'm sure Miriam, you'll agree with me, the kids have a way of influencing the parents. I've seen the supermarket, when they want to get this, they insist on to get that. Tell me from the ministry's standpoint, what are the programs? I know there's a school feeding program. Give us a little history.
Okay, good afternoon all. The school feeding program it has been in existence for over 30 years. It started off with the World Food Program, which was funding it, and there was a milk and sandwich snack during the recess break. The World Food Program, the goal was to relieve hunger among primary school children, increasing their nutritional intake and encouraging children to attend school. Subsequently to that, World Food Program, through the Stabex Fund, introduced a midday lunch and discontinued the milk and sandwich snack. So they saw the need for the lunch aspect. So it moved from a sandwich and milk to lunch. Thereafter, when World Food ended its funding, the government of St. Lucia picked it up, and it has been funded solely by the government of St. Lucia. We provide the children with a hot, nutritious meal every day. On average, we feed about 6,950 students at the primary schools, 79 primary schools, and there is a pilot at 5 secondary schools. So a total of 6,950 meals are prepared on a daily basis. But with COVID, it has exposed us. It has shown us that there is need for more. We need to incorporate more of our local produce. We have been preaching, advocating for many years. However, it is not part of the cooks. It is not part of the culture as yet, but we need to get the children to consume locally grown foods. The gardens, the school gardens would help us assist the students in growing what you eat. So if the student sees that I planted a tomato tree and 2-3 months later I'm able to harvest and eat, this will give them a sense of ownership and look, let me grow more crops, let me grow other things so that I can enjoy the local foods. It doesn't mean that the imported is not good, but the locally grown ones have a better taste.
It's fresh.
Fresh. And then you could go out right there in your backyard. You grow and then you eat. So we need to push on the school feeding program, incorporate the locally grown foods. The school feeding program, it serves sometimes the students, that's the only meal they get for that day. And they wait for the following day. In as much as other children have choices, some students do not have. So it serves a very important purpose, and we need to do more with the school feeding program. From my perspective, I can say that to some extent we have failed. And we need to do more. We need to do school feeding nutrition education. Students just know eating a plate of rice and chicken. But what about the nutritional aspect? Have we taught them about that? What does a potato, a tomato, what nutrients do you get there? The locally grown sweet potato, what do we get from it? Is it a better option to the imported Irish potatoes? We have the green fig. The breadfruits was in abundance. Breadfruits is, oh my gosh.
Yes.
It is so many things you can do with breadfruits. You have the breadfruit balls. Students, the children enjoy the breadfruit balls. Once you prepare it, they will eat it. We need to go back to growing locally, and we need to be self-sufficient.
Well, Dimil boy, I think you've got a mouthful.
Yeah.
But coming from your standpoint, from Massey's standpoint, and of course you all are selling to the public. Tell us exactly what's your opinion on local produce coming through to you and selling to the produce. Is it you're getting it on a regular basis? Is it consistent? And then in terms of price and your sales?
Well, thank you. Let me say good afternoon to everybody, and let me thank you for that opportunity. But also let me tell you, there's always opportunity in the agricultural sector in St. Lucia, because if we have to go back 10 years, we could say we have made great progress. I saw 10 years ago, St. Lucians knew nothing about kale, right?
True.
They knew nothing about microgreens. They knew nothing about getting a local yellow and red pepper and all those things. And I could go on and on. So when you have to look at things like that, you could see we have made strides. Are we where we're supposed to be? I would say no, because there's a number of things we have to take into consideration. Number one, we have an urban drift that's taking place because persons do not have, place to sustain their livelihood in the area where they live. Right. So you find they have to move to the capital or a place where they could get employment. Now you also have issues with a number of kids, at school, a number of kids live in school, a number of persons are not eating healthy, but we need to make sure that those foods are available so that people can eat healthy. And that's why when we heard of the CARICOM dietary guidelines for the region, we actually went into developing items like spinach and the kale and some of those things so people could get it at the store. But we also even went further, and I guess that would be right up your alley, where we work with, I think now we have 18 schools on what you call the HOOPS program, helping out our primary and secondary school, where we actually provided them with a greenhouse and had them to produce their own food with help of ICA, because ICA is the one managing the program. But we are the ones, I think it started with the hotels, but Massey is the one financing it for the last few years now.
That's good to know.
So there's countless opportunities in the sector, but we have made strides, but there's still a lot we have to do.
But moving forward in the conversation, what it is that we need to do more?
I think we need to plan a lot more, because I remember earlier you asked me about price, right? And I think our prices have been quite stable. But there's other things we need to do. I think we need to look at, if we call it a food basket that we want persons to buy, and figure out what do we do. Like now, I could tell you there's VAT on all roots and tubers. And I think we should revisit this. Because even at the time of COVID, it was important that people eat nutritious meals, because when we get over COVID, we will have a lot more strain on the health sector, because we would have people, because they do not have the income, they would not be eating as healthy as they should. And we must understand that's what they could afford at the time. So we need to produce the food in a way that it's affordable also to the general public. And I'm happy, because we need to start from the young people.
We have to.
That's how we're going to change those habits.
Yes, Orlando.
Yeah, but I think some of the things, though, what you're talking about, how do we give people more, we need better observation. I mean, I must say, when I come to the store, while I love coming there, I mean, I see a lot of stuff. One of the conversations I'm always saying, but there's products there, but no one knows what to do with it. We're not given enough information. When we know, growing up, you see a yam and dashi, and you say, boy, you're going to boil it. But we got to get more creative ways to do with it. So I think, while I'm not knocking Massey, because I'm going to talk about idea there with you, but I think when you go to the stores, right now we need sensitivity. We need to understand what we can do with the dashi. Breadfruit, there is so much things you can do with breadfruit. You're making breadfruit cocktails, you're making breadfruit cake, breadfruit salads. You can do so much with it. And I saw breadfruit in abundance in the last few weeks.
And breadfruit is an energy food too. You must understand that.
Energy food. But yet, I think you're right, and the schools need to be more education about the products. But I think because most of us go to supermarkets, I think we start in the supermarkets. We need a better highlight, maybe even put videos up of products that you can do, showing videos of what you can do with the ingredients in the supermarket. So give people a bit more awareness of products. You bring stuff in from overseas, and unless you know it, you just see it there, you don't even touch it.
But I find the schools have done a lot, eh? We worked with the schools. We have always been working with the schools, especially when it comes to World Food Day. And let me tell you, I remember we did some work with them as far as sweet cassava was concerned. And I think that year we worked with 4 schools. Compre, I think it was Clement Mason. No, it wasn't Hess, it was
Swazel said.
No, it wasn't so. It was V4.
It was burnt.
No.
Grace or one of those.
No,
places, I think
it was four at the time,
Secondary
right?
schools.
And let me tell you, I mean, if you saw what these kids did, man, it's like they blow my mind. Even last year at our World Food Day, right there at the SAB, the health school did a thing, you know.
Ice cream.
Yeah, a sweet potato ice cream. And I was like, what the? You know, I mean, let me tell you, that blew my mind. And the point is, okay, where do we go from there?
Yeah.
So
we keep doing this. But sorry to cut. We keep doing this one day a thing there. I mean, national.
has to
It's
be
consistent.
Yes.
It wouldn't be a great idea if we did a food once a month.
Yeah.
So, because
But,
I mean,
but hold that point there with you for our first break. You're watching Agriculture on the Move. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Don't go away.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives, and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy, and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
Welcome back to the program, Agriculture on the Move. Of course, we are discussing so many things when it comes to our local cuisine. We need to continue, and I would like to emphasize again, eat fresh St. Lucia's best. Let us move forward from here. I heard sometime this year you got an award. Tell us, what was this award about? I think you keep getting awards all over the place. What was this one about?
We could hardly keep up with him.
You never
you know what's quite funny? It's that the award. I also when I receive an award, St. Lucia receives an award,
right?
And that's the vision I have. I'm a chef who's been doing it for a long time, and just got recognized by a magazine in the US called Travel and Leisure. 4.8 million people read the magazine,
Right.
and they're just done their top 20 restaurants around the world, and Orlando's in Soufriere is one of the top 20 restaurants in the world.
Wow.
In the world,
Wow.
I'm like, and
Wow.
the only one in the whole region, the Caribbean.
Wow.
Well done.
Yeah.
Great.
While I am happy for that, it is in the interest of we St. Lucians. You know, my achievement is not mine; it's St. Lucian. But it's also an achievement for the cuisine, because one of my vision is that to bring Caribbean cuisine to international recognition. And this award has kind of chipped in a piece out of the rock, you know. So, and given the only Caribbean restaurant, top 20 restaurant in the world, I'm not in a 5-star hotel. I'm just a small restaurant in the heart of Soufriere, the best kept secret, I like to call it. And at the end of the day, it's for us, it's for St. Lucia, and it's for our cuisine. And what it does say, that local cuisine can be seen as one of the best in the world. And so I feel proud for that as a passport solution. But you know, I hope all St. Lucians should feel proud of our achievements.
Yep. I
You
think
know, and our
we have
local
achieved.
events.
I think St. Lucians have achieved a lot. And what's Nina Compton?
Yeah,
Okay, and we just spoke about Chef
and Chef Jiggy.
Jiggy, Keith
I
Maynard.
mean, and these guys are making waves overseas.
Yeah.
So
Like I told you, Chef was just on the, sometime last year on the Boston Herald.
Yeah, there you go.
So-
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, but a lot of us forget about Chef Harry.
yes.
While
yes.
Chef Harry
We must remember him.
was our stepping stone.
Yes.
You know, while I myself, I'm from the UK, I did what I did in the UK. I came to St. Lucia, and the only person I did was Chef Harry. I met him once or twice. You have to, he laid the foundation to what's possible for St. Lucia.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And as a chef, I mean, actually I didn't work with him, but I think many of the cooks and chefs today are taught under him. Well, which, I mean, and I think he put St. Lucia to another level.
Yeah, man. I mean, Chef
Yeah.
did a lot. Chef put St. Lucia on the map.
On the map, yeah.
And one of his is, I remember going there, and he had a soup called soup juk fouillé. You know, and he was able to use this to get people, entice people. But let's move forward again to the schools.
Yeah.
You know, here you have a child, right? Like I said, at Hess, who came up with that. What do we do with a recipe like this? Okay, where do we go from here?
This is where the Ministry of Education steps in and step up. We need to provide the students with the support. It is not just creating that ice cream, that sweet potato ice cream just for World Food Day. But we need to go further. We need to have it on the menus. We need to have it marketing out there. Instead of importing all the other ice creams, which I'm not against, but we need to up our local. If the children are able to create, then we need to provide them with that assistance to move further, to market it so it can be on the shelf at Massey, it can be exported.
Exactly.
But an important thing as well is starting with the younger ones. From K, we need to educate them, the food nutrition education part. We need to come back to that. Right. The students need to be aware of what they consume, what it does to their body. So it is an important element in sustaining the school feeding program. Right. We have the cooks who provide the meals, but the cooks, they are not the cooks from the hotels, the chefs from the hotels. So they would just come in and prepare the basic. But we need to get the diversity. We provide the creativity in using the local, especially the breadfruit, to do the breadfruit soup. We need to give the children exposure so that they will not gravitate to what is out there. They will stick to the local. So education plays an important role. We need to educate from young. The children grasp a lot from the tender age, so by the time they continue throughout secondary schools, they have an idea as to what is it they want, the path. And we also need to bring back at the primary school level the agriculture aspect. It plays a key role in the students. With the students, whether they will want to do academic or they want to move on to the technical side. Because a number of students are from the farming community, and they are in it on the weekend or after school. But in the school, what do they do? Do they get that additional information to tell them how to plant, when to plant, what crop to grow? During the rainy season, I should not be planting this. So we need to bring back agriculture at the primary schools so that the students who are not academically inclined can fall back on the agriculture subject.
Beautiful, well done.
And that would lead them to whether they move into the field later on at the secondary schools. And it brings us back. COVID exposes. We need to come back to the soil. It's not all about the hotels. See what happened. We need to come back and we need to grow and eat what we grow. We need to support agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture as well, in the initiative they have with the 7 crops.
7 crops.
We need to bring back agriculture. Definitely. We need to.
So, but Demille, from your perspective, okay, let's look at COVID. Give us your dimension of COVID and Massey stores and the availability of produce in that period.
Yeah, well, from time COVID hit, I'm sure we will appreciate we had COVID and we had another serious issue, if you all remember. We had a drought also.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So you had a really decrease in the production levels. And plus, in the first few, I would say in the first week and a half of COVID, there was so much uncertainty. So you find a number of farmers, the workers couldn't get to the farm. So you had a lot of crop, that got damaged. You had persons, because there was so much uncertainty, persons had to be giving away produce. They were passing in the districts and giving away produce because when the crop is ready to harvest, you have to take it out. But being they could not get to the markets because we were closed obviously too. Until the markets did not reopen, persons were passing along and giving away some.
But there was some creativity too. Some people use online.
Online, some people use WhatsApp platforms and whatnot.
Right. So
A whole new business.
A whole new business.
And a whole new business
It
came up.
forces us to be better.
Especially there's a lady I need to go and speak with her down at PI, just by the school, by the speed bump there.
Oh, yes.
You realize that's a COVID market, you know.
Yeah, and it's
You know?
there.
And the thing is, you must slow down there.
Yeah.
And it's right there. And this is the kind of thing we need to encourage in the community.
But the other thing I want to say is also, I heard the talk a while ago about the ice cream, but I think that is a perfect opportunity to see, okay, how can we work with parents? We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
That's exactly. I
How
call them,
can
you
we
know.
I spoke to friends, you know. It's true.
No, that's what I'm saying. How can we work with parents so this Christmas or what, that ice cream ends up on the market, but then the royalties or what goes
now that's the thing
to the kids and the schools.
Because,
You know?
I mean, hello, I mean, we need to give it legs, but we need to know what is in it for her.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing.
But definitely.
But going to parents, I don't know. I mean, that is something that we need. But I don't think that recipe should just go.
It should not go to waste.
Yes,
because I mean, when you look at some of the things that we do in St. Lucia, I mean, just what sometimes we travel to Trinidad. I went to Guyana, and the experience I got, you know, when I went Canal 1, Canal 2, I went to the Palmaroon, and those people, man, would take an egg ambush and all. I mean, it's amazing what they do with cassava and whatnot.
Well, it's true.
And we're right here, we have some of those products. We have so many people. You remember when we had the walk around the island, and that was followed by the exhibition. You were there at Darren Sammy Grounds now. You remember how creative, you know, there was so many things done with cassava.
But look at avocados right now.
But like you said earlier, where have it gone to? One day, and that was it.
That's right.
So we need to get more across the board. But looking even right now, avocados are in abundance right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm making avocado ice cream right now. But again, I know we haven't got much long, but I think we have to come back and talk to you more, because I think there is definitely a missing link. The agricultural opportunities have been in St. Lucia for a long time, and we've not taken it forward. And I always ask the question, what are we going to do when the planes stop coming to us?
Exactly.
And
if there's a disaster.
And the planes stop coming, and we understand we are in the situation.
Exactly.
So now we have to find a way to maintain that. And not everybody going to be a computer science. Not everyone's going to be on the computers doing internet. So what you're saying, you need to give those people those basic structural agricultural station, you mean?
And before you say, and that's why we as a company have put our money where our mouth is. Because we understand one of the important components for agriculture is having access to finance. And not just having access, but timely access to finance. So we give farmers loan, we do not charge any interest. I mean, and that have helped a lot of farmers. So I'm sure you will stay there and imagine what have happened after COVID.
Oh, sure.
We even had to extend the payback period for some farmers, because we understand the situation we're in.
And let me tell you, that is so crucial. The lending institutions, I don't think the environment is conducive. They will tell you, yes, come to, by the time you, I got just recently, this morning, a friend of mine called me, and the red tape that you have to go to. I mean, come on, man. It's like you tell the person, no. The ease of doing business is not easy at all. And we need to start speaking to that. So when we're talking about guys or young people who want to get into agriculture, I mean, the ministry have had the Youth Agri-Entrepreneurship Program. There are young people who want to come in there. And we said a while ago, we need to sexy up agriculture.
Make it look sexy.
The drudgery is no more.
And there's other serious components. Water was an issue. Maquis Estate is one of our bread baskets, along with Fosse Jacques and probably the Denry Valley. But Maquis Estate, during COVID, you know what happened to them? The water from the river, the flow was so low that the seawater was coming up.
Wow.
So you know when the pumps pull up that salt water, what happened? You know, so we need to ensure that our watersheds and whatnot are in place for those farmers to have access to it.
And then you have
road
climate
access.
change.
You understand?
It's right here.
Yeah.
Climate change is a whole different thing, because look at us. I mean, I was saying last month, the sun was so hot was it September? Was it the hottest I've
And
seen in
look at
Solution?
all the ridges.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
yes,
I mean,
yes,
and now we're getting to the rainy point.
Okay, as you're about to end, because we're coming
Yeah.
close, there's 1 more minute left. Any final words from you, sir?
Well, I first of all thank you for the opportunity to share with you. Again, a quick note out, a shout out to a couple of people. They passed away last year. A young boy, Riviere, who was a farmer, he was a good friend of mine. You know, Renato, a young chef. That's another situation.
That's another sad one.
These are our industry. We're the foodies. We cook, so we deliver food. So when people pass, we need to recognize them, and these are quite timely.
Yes.
The SLHDA, we are definitely supporting the school programs, which are going to assist you. And of course, come and discover Orlando's. We're right in Soufriere.
You're the people that, eh?
We are the best kept secrets.
Best from you, Miriam?
Okay, we just want to encourage the families, the farmers, to grow so that the schools can purchase from them and then that the students can eat the locally grown foods. These are more nutritious. The contents in there, the nutrient contents, we need to expose the children more to it, not just a 5 minutes in talk in a subject, but we need to schedule it in the timetable so that the children can go in deeper and ask questions regarding our sweet potato. Let us know what we are consuming. But support the school feeding program. It is available at all the schools. Those who can afford, you pay just a mere $1 a day.
Wow, that's
and there are those who cannot afford, they are placed on the needy list.
Definitely.
Okay, let me say thanks for that opportunity, because to solve some of the challenges, and I put them as challenges we have in the agricultural sector, it takes some of those roundtable discussions,
absolutely.
it takes support from everybody. We have to be serious what we want to do, and our actions have to show that we are working towards what we want to do.
Absolutely.
Right now in the sector, pest and disease, after that drought, pest and disease is a real serious issue. If you go to the Mackey estate now, I mean, they have what you call the mosaic virus. And you notice there's no cucumbers on the market. That's one of the reasons. Now, there's also, Renwick do not have seeds for cucumber seeds. So you see, it takes a collaborative effort. But I can tell you,
we'll come back to a part 2 of that,
Massy
because there's a lot to do in that way.
Massy stores turn committed. Our first priority is always to buy local. What we cannot get local, people depend on us, we will still have to import it.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you very much for being here. And we need to have a part 2, definitely.
Definitely.
We can't stop. After part 2, because we need to continue the conversation all along.
Well, I want to say eat solution best.
Yes, eat fresh and Lucia's best.
Okay.
You've been watching Agriculture on the Move. Thank you for viewing the program. I just want to shout out one or two persons. My PS in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Felicia, he'll give us a lot of support for this World Food Day activities. Though we didn't have anything huge, but we had a few things that we did. So I want to thank you and the hierarchy of the ministry and other staff of the ministry to ensure that what we did this year, at least we had something to do, even if COVID was in the environment. Thank you for viewing, and remember, agriculture is our business. Eat fresh, St. Lucia's best. I'm Philip Sidney saying goodbye. Thank you, sir.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.